In this particular video, I want to discuss how you can continue eating some of your favorite foods while losing body fat. And I want to tell you a quick story. In my late teens, early 20s, I was just completely obsessed with basically clean eating. I was just obsessed with trying to achieve my goal of looking a certain way, and I was pretty much prepared to do whatever it took to achieve that. But the problem was I was so obsessed with just eating clean food, whole food, so single ingredient whole food. I basically missed out on a lot of social occasions. I would feel guilty or bad if I had just a hint of any processed food. And that really had a big negative impact on me in my late teens, early 20s, when I discovered that you can essentially still have some of your favorite foods in moderation while still achieving your fat loss goals. Was just a massive weight off my shoulders, and that's something I want to share with you today. So once we understand that key principle of creating that calorie deficit, the calorie deficit is the key to fat loss. What does that mean? You essentially need to be burning more calories than you're consuming over a period of time to lose body fat. How do you know if you're in a calorie deficit? If you're losing weight, you're in a calorie deficit. If you're not losing weight, you're not in a deficit. It's really that simple. So once you've got that set up, you're creating that calorie deficit, it's really your personal preference that puts together foods and meals to basically create that calorie deficit. No foods are off limits. Now, that being said, I'm not saying for a moment you should just be eating junk food, creating a calorie deficit, and that's what you should do. Even though you would technically still lose weight, we don't want to be doing that, because we still want to be meeting our micronutrient needs for all those health benefits. So what I would suggest you do is have approximately 70 to 80% of your food intake from whole food, lots of fruits and vegetables, good quality protein, carb, fat sources, and then have 20-30% of whatever you want. As long as you're still creating that calorie deficit, you'll still make progress, you're still meeting all your micronutrient needs, because the majority of the diet is coming from whole food, but you're still having some of the foods you love. And the reason why that's important is, firstly, adherence goes up. Because you're not avoiding certain foods, you're more likely to stick to the diet for the longer. Second thing is, it creates a much healthier relationship with food. When I was in my late teens, I had a bad relationship with food. Again, I had these two boxes: good food, bad food. As soon as you start having the quote-unquote bad food, you feel guilty, you binge, etc. It's not good. But by looking at foods differently, thinking about, okay, calorie deficit is the first key, 70 to 80% from whole food, the rest from what I want, still achieve your goals while adhering to the diet for longer, having a much healthier relationship with food, and actually enjoying the process. So hopefully that's been useful.